Hello everyone, how are you all? Welcome back to the channel. And today, I'm really sorry guys for not uploading the videos regularly as I have said, but due to some unseen circumstances, emergencies, I could not find time. And right now, I'm finding time to complete one topic, which is a short topic, and we will feel a sense of satisfaction that one topic has been completed. So I'll complete a weed. All right, weed is a small topic. We will study about its characteristics. What are the characteristics of weed? A. Second, we will see the how weed disseminate and its association with different crops. Fourth is its multiplication, how it multiply, and its prevention. How do we prevent weed? Now, weed should be prevented by three methods, which we will focus upon: biological, chemical, and cultural. I hope don't see this. I am speaking see to this. Otherwise, if I have to write, it will take a lot of time. Again, I'm saying that there is no nonsense going on. I'm not saying you to subscribe or this or that. Just follow few students. I am receiving the queries of LB, some Sumit, and few names I remember. They are like wholeheartedly following it. So for them, I am recording the lectures, and few more like who are religiously doing it. Right, so it will be like more of a content, more full of content rather than the beautification of this, right? So for the first time when you like weed, when you heard weed, so what do you how do you define weed? You tell me. Pause it, think about it, that what should come into weed. See, weed, whenever you will define weed, four things you have to mention in the definition. First of all, this is a weed. So can wheat be a weed, or rice can be a weed? Let's see. So weed definition, whenever you will come, it is first of all unwanted. Yes, sir. It is undesirable. Yes, sir. So wheat and rice are desirable, sir. How can it can be weed? I'll tell you how. Unwanted, undesirable, growth in wrong place and time. And fourth point, you will remember, in a particular situation. This thing you have to understand. Unwanted, okay. Undesirable, okay. Now it is growing in a wrong place and time. So can wheat be grown in a wrong place and time? If the field is of a rice crop and a wheat crop is growing on, then it is a weed for that particular place and time. And in a particular situation means the situation is of Kharif season. We are growing rice, but how come a wheat plant can come inside a rice crop? So that is particularly weed for us then, right? So this is a basic definition of weed. Now we will come to its characteristics. That how will you say that what are the characteristics of weed? Now first characteristic which we will mention is prolific seed production. On an average, wheat plant will give us 40 seeds per plant. That means one plant will give of wheat will give 40 seeds. What do you think about a Maranthus, which is a wheat plant? It gives around 1.96 thousand lakh wheat seeds per plant. Now you understand why weed spread so prolific. So one point is prolific seed production. Remember Amaranthus. One more you can remember is Chenopodium. It is 72,000. Second, I'll talk about that. First characteristic is prolific seed production. We have seen the examples too. Second, you will say that this particular weed has a very peculiar feature, that it can undergo dormancy, that you can write seed dormancy, that it remained dormant, it do not come out and it do not flourish for a short period. It sees the good environment, favorable environment, and then it comes out. So what are the example you will set here? Again, the example will be Chenopodium. It can show a dormancy of 20 to 25 years. And what about other, that is doob grass, whose scientific name is 5 to 6 years, but scientific name of doob grass is, you search it out, Cynodona dactylon. So we have seen Chenopodium, Cynodona dactylon, and Amaranthus, right? Now third feature is they have deep root system. Very deep root system they have. Like for example of doob grass, that is Cynodona dactylon, that is doob grass. It has like 5 to 6 meter long, not meters but centimeters, I would say. Meters. Remember this much. So whenever, like, suppose this is a field and it has so much long roots, and you are cutting out this, so again weed will come out from these places. So that's why deep root system helps them to flourish. Fourth feature, high seed viability. Seed viability, that means seeds are viable for long period. Like Chenopodium we have studied, Amaranthus we have studied, they can survive as long as 50 years. That means a seed right now, wheat seed right now, can flourish for another 50 years, can remain viable. Another point is they have hard seed coat. For example of Gokhru, these are weeds, which we also say tribulus. So remember, side by side, the weed plants we are talking about is Amaranthus, Chenopodium. Another one we have studied, Amaranthus, Chenopodium, Tribulus, and one is Dactylon, that is doob grass, Dactylon. You remember the name, Cynodona Dactylon. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 weed plants you have to remember, right? And in the process of completing this video, you will be remembering around 10 weed plants, which you might be right now, which you might feel difficult to understand, but this video will make it very easy, guys, I'm telling you. Another very important feature is of mimicry. Mimicry means they resemble same as the wheat crop or the other crop, the main crop which are growing. So wheat crop, similar looking weed is Phalaris minor. They look same. They are tolerant to adverse conditions. They can survive under adverse conditions. So what are the main characteristics which we have seen till now? We have seen around 7, right? First is a prolific seed production. We say Amaranthus and Chenopodium. Amaranthus survive like 1,96,000. It is 72,000 prolific seed production. Second one is seed dormancy, and dormancy can be followed like for 50 years for Chenopodium. Third one is seed viability. It can survive for 50 years like Chenopodium, Amaranthus, right? Fourth one is deep root system. You will give example of doob grass, that is Cynodona dactylon, 4 to 6 meter deep. You will say about hard seed coating and mimicry. Hard seed coating example is Gokhru, that is Tribulus, and mimicry you will understand the Phalaris minor's wheat crop. You understand this? So this much information is very much sufficient for characteristics. You can write this in 250 words, and 250 words will not come, 100 words characteristics will be asked. Are we over with this? Yes, we are over with this. Again, I am still writing. You have known till now the weed varieties. Number one, Amaranthus. Number two, Chenopodium. Number three is Phalaris minor. Number four, Cynodona dactylon. Number five, Tribulus. Now we will see some harmful effects of weed. Like weeds are, like, see, weeds have both harmful, that we all know that weeds are harmful. The second one is beneficial output also. Weeds have some beneficial functions also. So first we will see about the harmful effects of weed. Now it can be said on human, animal, right? Like this we will classify this. Now first of all, for the crop itself, so it reduces seed quality or the crop quality. How? Like if a weed is growing to nearer to the main crop, how will it affect it? You have to understand this. Like for example, this is sugarcane growing over here, and a new weed, striga, is also growing. Now because of this, the sugar in sugarcane will come down and it will be of low quality. So sugar content in sugarcane will be of low quality because of this striga. The milk of taste, the taste will become very pungent type and different because of one weed that we can say is a wild onion and wild garlic. Because of wild onion, wild garlic weeds, when the animals will eat it, they will give milk which will have of taste. Second example you can give of wool of sheep. Here, Checkelberg weed get attached to the wool of the sheep and it just destroys the product, right? Now we will see the effect on human health. Here you have to remember striga, sugarcane, wild onion, wild garlic, of taste, wool of sheep, Checkelberg. Human health. In human health, you will remember that it can cause hay fever and asthma. And because of what weed, you have to remember the name of the weed. Ragweed. Another human health effect is dropsy because of Argemona mexicana. Itching and inflammation because of Eutrica. Argemona mexicana, ragweed, Checkelberg, wild onion, wild garlic, this you have to remember. Now impact on animal health. Hypersensitive to light. Which is the weed which is hypersensitive to light is Lantana camara. Anti-blood coagulation, which we sweet clover. Now we will see some beneficial aspect. Right now we have seen what you have talked about crops quality down, and you will give the example of striga and sugarcane. Onion, garlic, wild onion and wild garlic will reduce the color of flavor. In wool, you have given it the example of Checkelberg. Alright, human health, you talked about hay fever and asthma. Basically, who's responsible? Ragweed. Dropsy is responsible for dropsy is because of Argemona mexicana. Itching and inflammation because of Eutrica. And on animal health, hypersensitive to light is Lantana camara. Anti-blood coagulation is because of sweet clover. Again, we have this Argemona mexicana, because of this dropsy is happening, Ragweed asthma is causing, and what? Utrica, because of utrica, there is itching and inflammation. Alright, Checkerberg, wild onion, wild garlic. So how many weeds which you have like unknowingly remembered is amaranthus. Next is chenopodium, cynodona. What? Cynodona, striga. What more? Chenopodium, cynodona, amaranthus. Remember, just pause the video and try to remember Checkerberg, wild onion and garlic, lantana camera, ragweed, argimona, mexicana, tribulus. Phalaris minor. See, we have remembered a lot of things. Phalaris minor. These weeds are complete. More than this, you don't have to remember. Just use this in your answers. Alright, guys. So, weeds, their characteristics, and their harmful and beneficial aspects we have seen. Now, we will see the dissemination, how it is disseminated. Now, dissemination is done by two processes, autochory and allochory. Autochory means self. Because of self functions of weed, it spread because of some special tools, or you can say special organs they have, like pappus, bloom. These two things you have to remember. Pappus is bloom. Allochory is because of some agent weed is getting transferred. So agents are human, animals. So we can say them mammalichory. Birds, we can say ornithochory. By whom? And by other methods we'll talk about, like wind, water. We'll talk about these, that how this dissemination is happening. Before this, we just missed the beneficial aspect, right? Beneficial aspects of weed, you can say, like it can act as a fodder crop. For example, like cynodona, that is doob grass, can be used as fodder. Doob, amaranthus can be used as fodder crop. Medicinal purpose also, the weed is being used. Which are the weeds which are good for medicinal purpose? We have to understand it, learn it. Like for snake bite, we have Leucus aspera. Leucus aspera, snake bite. Diabetes, striga. Leucus aspera, striga. For decoration purpose, we can use like lantana camera. It can reduce soil erosion, like doob grass we can grow. It can be used for vegetable like amaranthus. Spiritual purposes, it can be used like doob grass is used for spiritual purposes too. So in dissemination of weed, that is propagating of weed from one place to another, we were talking about autochory and allochory. So I told you that it gets disseminated by its own, and we have a special structure. And these special structure are pappus, comos. These three things you will understand. Comos, bloom, pappus. Search it down, Google it. Allochory. These are by humans, animals, birds, wind, water. We will understand this how this happens. In allocory, we have mammalcory, that is by humans. So humans remember one thing, a special type of weed, that is satellite weed, and mimicry. Because of mimicry, it get transferred. Satellite weeds are same weeds which are of equal height as of the main crop. These are the satellite, and their harvesting time is also same. Now, for example, we have to remember Avena. Let me check. Avena Fatua Phalaris minor is for wheat. Fatwa is for oat, I guess. Yes, oat, Avena Fatwa, Phalaris minor, wheat. So these are mammal curry because of this thing. So satellite weed and mimicry weed are the reasons why it get transmitted by this. And animals we will talk about again special structure. Now in animals we have two things, two kind of weed get disseminated. Ingested weed, which are not able to digested by the animals, and they do the excreta in the feed, and the seeds remain viable also. The second one is special structures, the like of tribulus, gokru, right? So these are the two features which we have to talk about. So in special structure, you have to remember about xanthanium. It has a hook-like structure, and tribulus we have sharp spiny type structure, sharp spiny, and xanthanium hook type structure. Because of birds, we call is ornithocory, that is ornithocory, and it is because of attractiveness of the weed, and that attractiveness is because of lantana camera, and that is feeded by Indian myna. I hope you guys are understanding this. Now because of wind, lightweight weed seeds are get transferred, lightweight, right? And the examples are wild sunflower, remember this. And because of water we have aquatic weed. So in dissemination, what all we have seen in dissemination? Autocory, allocory. Special structure by itself, and for itself it has special structures like pappus, comos, and one more thing it was there, right? What was that? Remember it. Allocory we will talk about because of humans, and because of humans there are two, satellite weed and mimicry weed. Now Phalaris minor is a mimicry of wheat, and oat mimicry is, just check it out. Animals we have two, that is ingested weeds, and one is ingested weeds. Because of this get transferred dissemination. And special structure, its special structure we have of xanthanium. It has a hook-like structure, and sharp spiny is of tribulus. Then third is of birds, and birds because of attractive weed, and it is because of lantana camera by Indian myna. Third is of by wind, lightweight seeds, and wild sunflower. Fifth is of water, and it is aquatic weed. Now this is basically dissemination. Right, guys? Now you understand. We have understand dissemination. Now one also dissemination mechanism is like whatever we have seen till now is space and space. That is dissemination in space. That means from one place to another place. Now we will see dissemination in time. That is after a certain time. Then the concept of seed dormancy will come over here. And seed dormancy is of three types. One is innate dormancy. Second one is induced dormancy. Third one is enforced dormancy. None in the name it suggests that innate means in inherent, they have inherent characteristics of dormancy, like they have like tough coats, right? And for example of Armanthium and Tribulus, induced because of environmental factors, the seed got dormancy. In forced, we have other things. We will see this one by one. So for like inherent, we have like innate dormancy, we have like xanthinium and tribulus. Because environmental and induced, we have example of black mustard. And force is because of the high depth, and we can see it in wild lettuce, wild mustard, xanthemum and tribulus. This is dissemination, and dissemination is over now. In next part, we will see the control method, and in control method, this will be the last part. And control method, we will see biological and cultural and chemical methods. Very easy topics. We will see one by one, and we will end this. Maybe 15-20 minutes topics will be this. All right, guys. Meet you in the next lecture.